Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Fire Force Chapter 207. When we last left our heroes, Shinra, tired of having the dual links happen to him and having no say over when or how they happen, tries to open his third eye with Benny's help to force an dual link of his own, which he does very briefly with Sho. The link is then cut immediately after, but he does make that link, and that's where we left off last time. So let's jump right on into Chapter 207, Escape. And our cover picture is Shinra, a dream? The Adola link with his brother's Sho should have been a success, but... so we open where we left off last time with Sho in shock at the Adola link. For a single moment, his brother connected with him. Will the shock undo Sho's brainwashing? Just now, that was an Adola link. And Sho flashes back to Shinra's face. Brother. And just then, he has all the memories of both his childhood, his infancy, and his fight with Shinra in the Nether. What on earth? Where are these memories coming from? And then he flashes back to Haumea brainwashing him again. Haumea. That's right. We will create a new cataclysm. The star will blaze once more. That is our duty. That alone is why we... So it seems like the memory of the brainwashing has re-brainwashed him? But that was my brother. My family. I felt a warmth I never felt before. Flames. They burn and melt and consume everything around them. But it was nothing like that. What do I... And then Sho stands up. Once more. I must see my brother once more. Okay, so I guess that's a new goal for Sho. And he continues to walk. I can't afford to let Haumea or the Guardians suspect anything. So now Sho is sees himself as opposed to the White-Clads. Which is kind of an interesting position for him. But I also don't think he's, full anti-evangelist now. He's just kind of curious about Shinra, and knows that if Haumea finds out that he's curious about Shinra, he'll be right back where he started. So I don't think that's a Sho redemption right there. But Inca comes by. Hey, Sho, what's up? And Sho just kind of looks at her. Well, same old grump. Where's Haumea? Holed up in her room, where else? I've missed Inca. I always miss Inca, but I miss Inca. She can see the future. She might suspect something. Inca just walks on by. I can't stay here long. This way, then. Still, I learned something valuable. If Haumea's distracted back that way, then this is my chance to escape. And then Sumire walks by. Good day, Third Pillar Shokun. Sister Sumire. Oh, there's something a bit different about you today, no? And Sho just looks at her. I don't know what you mean. If the old lady's about, I can't stay here long. This way, then. And Sho, walks away from Sumire right when Charon shows up. Oh, Sho. Teeny as ever. And Charon has this, weird older brother vibe with Sho that we've never seen before. As Charon just kind of, ruffles his head. Why is it now I run into everyone? I have to get out of the Nether. Charon is Haumea's guardian. If she found out, it'd be trouble. I can't stay here long. This way, then. Commander? Who is it this time? Is it Arrow? Yeah, it's Arrow, with a new scar across her face that I don't remember her getting. Trying to remember when the last time we saw Arrow was. Because I do remember having the sense that Arrow's allegiance was more to Sho than to the Evangelist at this point. But I just do not remember when we saw her last. And what gave her that scar. I don't know. And Sho says to her, Arrow, what is it? The final mass before the cataclysm will be soon. Where are you going? Oh, so we're right before the ending. Right before the final battle. If the White-Clads are, preparing to start after, a final mass. But Sho thinks, I see. That explains why there's so many people around. And Arrow's kind of concerned by Sho's silence. Is something wrong? Something, indeed. I'm trying to drop in on my brother. What would I even do if we met? Am I simply exhilarated because the Adola link shattered my chains? I may be free, but what do I do? So hold on. So is he fully free of the brainwashing? I really don't know. Arrow just says, we'll be late for mass. Come. And the two of them go, but Sho grips his sword. No. Brother, in the nether. It's not as if I'm desperate to see him, but I can't ignore these feelings. And he kind of pushes up on the hilt of his sword. And he draws his blade on Arrow. Lead me outside. Commander? Defy me and I'll cut you down. And the two of them walk on towards the outside. Commander, I am your guardian. I never turn on you. And Sho just doesn't respond. So Arrow continues, what do you need from the surface? Wherever you go, I will protect you. I don't need you to. And why would you go that far to protect me? I do so without any doubts. It is my duty. And if I said I release you from your duty? And he thinks to himself, Arrow's just like me. She simply goes where her duty commands. Without it, she's lost. But Arrow looks back at him. All of mankind's philosophies and creeds dance to the evangelist's tune. Mankind itself is, in a sense, bound to the evangelist's will. You and I, too, have lived in accordance with the duties the evangelist has given us. But I was able to do something different. Oh, this is Sho talking, not Arrow. You should, too. Throw such trash away and live by your own will. This is a really, really sudden shift in Sho that I'm not quite sure I like. Especially because I don't quite buy it. Given that Sho, since he was an infant, has been raised by the White-Clads. Even without the brainwashing, this rebellious streak shouldn't really be there. This kind of, live by your own will is nothing that Sho's ever known. I don't know. But Arrow turns back to him. My duty is not such trash. How so? To carry out my duty is my will. And she kneels before Sho. Does that mean her duty to the evangelist, or her duty to Sho? It is your security that brings my joy. It is your command that gives me purpose. It is my everything. To throw away my duty is to throw away all reason to live. I am an arrow, bound to protect you. And an arrow once fired can never be recalled. And Sho just looks down at her. And Arrow opens the door out of the nether. We're on the surface. Wherever you go, I am your companion. And Sho walks past her. I don't need you. And he steps into the moonlight. And Arrow just pops up right behind him. I'm telling you to stay away from me. How far away shall I stay then? Really, really far away. So I can't see you. But my arrows won't be able to protect you then. Don't protect me anymore. I don't need your arrows. Then I will protect you from the edge of my range. And Sho turns back to face her. Fine, have it your way. And Arrow lowers her hood. Yes, sir. And they walk on. And then, I guess we're checking in on the mass. Light up the lost souls. Scorch the earth. Turn this planet into a flaming sun. A throne of God. Continue in the evangelist's revealed path. La Tome. And we see Haumea, Inca, and Sumire all there. Honestly, what's the matter with you lot? The boys escaped! Haumea just, already figured it out. Shokun did? Inca's like, what the fuck? Forgive us. We will issue a search party. It's fine. He can do as he likes until the world ends. The pillars are assembled. No matter where the 8 pillars are, the cataclysm can't be stopped. And then we see Arrow and Sho walking away as the chapter ends. Is the end inevitable? Even so, Sho journeys into the night to reunite with his brother Shinra. To be continued in chapter 208, the final reunion. So this is yet another chapter just stressing how much we're in the endgame now. There is very little left to do besides everyone's kind of getting into place for the final battle. Very reminiscent of that part in Fullmetal Alchemist after the time skip. That's just a few episodes of everyone being in place before the action starts. That's very much the vibe the past 7 chapters have given. Or past 4 chapters have given. Really ever since we left St. Raffles. Actually, honestly, even St. Raffles kind of has that vibe. Ever since we left Fuchu, has kind of been the vibe. But yeah, this chapter, again, I don't really buy Sho. I don't buy that Sho would just leave like that. I don't believe that Sho would have the emotional maturity, given he spent his entire life with the White-Clads, being, like, brainwashed by them, to lie to them about who he is. I don't quite think that the Sho... I don't think it makes a lot of sense for Sho to be at that point. Like I said last week, I expected Sho to get caught right away and then just re-brainwashed. And I guess that would be kind of a boring plot development. But it's just kind of sudden for Sho to all of a sudden, you know, without really not much work at all, just get fixed. Like, I normally love the hell out of Fire Force, and this chapter just didn't really do it for me. That being said, I like just about if I allow myself to believe that Sho would just turn like this, everything else is a lot of fun. The idea of, like, the White-Clads as a family, is kind of played with here. Like, Inka's, you know, very, very friendly towards Sho. Charon acts like an older brother towards him. Not in the same way that, like, Shinra would, but, like, that kind of on page 8, where Charon just, like, teeny as ever, and, like, ruffles his head, is very, very older brother to me. But yeah, let me see. Haumea, however, immediately figures out what's going on. Perhaps she knew the whole time. There's the bit where Sho mentioned that Haumea can see the future, and so she could suspect something at any point, just from, like, existing. But, like, Haumea knows and doesn't really care is important. Because, like, as long as so, I'm curious, though. So, she says the pillars are assembled. And then she says, no matter where the 8 pillars are, the cataclysm can't be stopped. Which means... Well, the immediate reaction would be that the pillars have always been here. Assuming Nataku is the youngest pillar, the pillars have been ready. If all they need to do is exist, the pillars have been ready for about a decade now, right? Nataku's probably around 10. So, like, that's a weird thing, unless something individually has to happen for them to become pillars. Which would track, given that I think Nataku became a pillar when he was bit by the bug by Rekka. But then, what happened to make Iris the 8th pillar? Like, what was the moment when Iris became a pillar? Did Iris become a pillar and that caused, and that's why the White-Clads came to the Empire? Why the White-Clads started allying with the Empire? Was that the moment she became a pillar? Was it when the Evangelist gave the 8th her blessing against Dragon's attack at Fuchu? I'm not sure. And that leaves a lot of questions up in the air that I hope we'll find out sooner rather than later. The other big thing is Arrow. Arrow, as Sho is leaving the White-Clad, so too is Arrow. And I'm curious how Arrow will react to going to the Fire Force. How the Fire Force will react to Arrow. What exactly, is Sho going to just join the Fire Force like that? Or will he be some kind of, like, third party? There's not really on either side. Like Orochimaru kind of did for a lot of Shippuden. For the parts of Shippuden he was alive for, you know. I don't know. There's a whole lot of questions going on here. And I don't know where we're going to go. So yeah, that's all I have to say for this chapter. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe or, you know, do whatever makes you happy, you know? And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!